up here, please.
If everybody's ready, I'm going to call this meeting to order. This is the Coffee County Planning Commission, September 24th, 2024. I would ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
I have a motion by Ms. Laura to approve. Do I have a second?
I second.
Randy seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, now we will have our public comments. Do we have anybody that wants to make any public comments? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Graves, and I live at 1223 Old Seminary Road in Manchester. And my first...
Ma'am, would you please come up here and speak? to the
Yeah, that'd be the
microphone,
best.
please?
So my first question is, most of us are here regarding the change of zoning down our road to accept duplexes. And it was my understanding that that was going to be voted on the 26th. And then we found out that there was a request to have something in regards to that voted on today. And so I'm not fully understanding what that is, and I would like to have that explained to me and why it's being voted on before it's being brought up before a full public meeting.
Yes, ma'am. I will respond to that if you don't mind.
Okay.
That is the first item on our agenda, and it's a house moving request, Swan Map 103, parcel 002.11, 1496 Old Seminary Road. We have come to, before the meeting, speaking with the mayor and the codes director, we're going to pull that item from the agenda, and we're not going to vote on it today. In actuality, we're putting the cart before the horse. It's got to go to the Board of Zoning Appeals first, and I'm sorry that all of you guys that got here, we didn't make this decision quickly enough. We had to get a little bit of information elsewhere. We didn't get this information quick enough to notify everybody. It will go before the Board of Zoning Appeals at 6 o'clock on Thursday, day after tomorrow. And depending on what happens there, it will come back before the house moving part will come back before the Planning Commission.
I see.
Does that answer your question?
It does, and so you all meet once a month, I understand.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct, okay. So we also felt the same way, that we felt like maybe that was putting the cart way before the horse, because
There are
we didn't
several-
quite understand that ourselves.
There are several things that have to be done, and they will present their case. I know that you guys paid to be here today. You will not have to pay the next time, and if you're not approved by the Board of Zoning Appeals, you'll get that money back. Okay? I think that's the most fair thing. Anybody else have any comments?
May I add a technical?
Yes.
Technically speaking, we did approve the agenda already with this item on there, only because everybody we knew was going to show up to speak to it, and policy and protocol is only public comments are allowed to items on the agenda. So this item will be sent to our next planning commission meeting with whatever the BZA decides.
That's correct.
Probably. So I just wanted to make that clear.
I'm sorry that we put you all to that.
So I would say,
struggle, but we're trying to
ask
get
for
it done
anybody
correctly.
else. Anybody else want to speak to it?
Okay, so then there won't be any commentary today, because it's off the agenda officially.
No, I
No.
just said we left it on the agenda so
So we
we
could-
could
Excuse me, I
comment.
misunderstood.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do have one comment that I would like to know about the committee members is, do you all have a copy of the restrictions on this property that was sold by the Daniel Family Trust?
Get that to the
If you
code.
don't, that's something I think you should look at. And also, there are square footage restrictions on the homes being built there the single-family homes being built there. Now, I don't know if that should change and then they should allow duplexes, if those square footage restrictions, how they would apply, because I'm assuming that it's a two-family property.
Their square footage.
There are
If you'd
1450.
like a copy, I will give it to you right now. I'll show it to you in this piece of paper.
We don't enforce deed restrictions.
No,
Oh,
But
okay.
if you wanna see what it is, I can show you a copy of it.
not
Or I
necessarily.
can read it to you, read it into the minutes.
We don't act on deed restrictions.
No, if private covenants are private covenants, we
You
have.
weren't
no-
aware of it,
That's
so
a
we were
civil-
gonna make
that's
you
civil.
aware of it.
Okay. And so primarily, my question was, if you're not aware of it, I think you should be aware of it, because if you're going to look at moving the houses need to fulfill those restrictions before they can actually be moved. So I would like for you to consider that. And if you have any questions, certainly, we all have our deeds of trust, and we'd be happy to provide them to you. Or you can certainly walk down the street and get it from the Register of Deeds. But there are restrictions, square footage, purpose, and so I think that is something you should look at to make an educated decision. And we just request that you do that.
You, all of you, need to take what you have and go before the Board of Zoning Appeals. They are the last resort, so to speak, and they will be making this decision. And, be sure you get everything in order, and anything you have, they will hear and listen to it, and that's 6 o'clock Thursday night.
Okay. I think that's all I have then, because primarily that's the restrictions that I think you need to know before you approve the movement of a home. Because there's no point in moving a home if they don't fulfill those restrictions. And everybody bought that property and agreed to it on the deed of trust. Thank you.
Amen.
I would ask if
Anybody else want to speak? Please, you're welcome to.
When is the next meeting?
The
No,
meeting
no,
that,
Not Thursday, but the next.
the next planning commission meeting will be the 4th Tuesday in October. I don't know what that date is, but I can get it right quick.
I'd like to be recognized to a point, and I know you can hear me. I'm the only one out there, Danny and I, that we don't have restrictions on our property, but we have definite opinions about what happens outside. We've been there so long. So we don't have restrictions. Been there a while.
Well, a big issue in all of this is, traffic on, Old Seminary Road is, it's really over traveled now due to the business in the neighborhood, not on this, well, it borders this property, but with multi-family dwellings, there would be quite a bit more traffic. Traffic is an issue there now, and there are a lot of children in that neighborhood, and we have grandchildren and great-grandchildren. So we certainly want to protest any change. I'm Daniel Skelton.
Anyone else? Like I said, and we'll repeat it, you need to bring all your resources and your opinions to the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. They will be the ones to make the decision. If they rule against this, there will be no house moving at our next meeting. So that's where you need to be, Thursday night at 6 o'clock. And, just to let everybody know. Does everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, let's move.
May I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
In the event that someone who is very concerned about this cannot be there because they're gonna be out of town or out of state, can they write a letter of concern and it be presented to the zoning?
Certainly wouldn't hurt.
Okay, just wondering.
Is that it? Hmm. Okay. All right, our next, item on the agenda is the site plan for the TCAT facility, map
You're
058.
skipping minutes.
Oh, I did skip the minutes, all right. I guess we need to approve the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion.
Randy makes a motion to approve the minutes. Do I have a second?
I second.
Ms. Laura seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion approved. Now we'll go to the site.
May I be recognized?
Yes, you may.
Okay. I wanted to, I'm now the elected Coffee County Mayor. I have served on the Planning Commission, this body here, for several years. I cannot serve on the Planning Commission and be the county mayor. So I will be resigning from the Planning Commission as of August the 1st, actually. The Planning Commission members are appointed by the county mayor. For my replacement, next Tuesday night at our next full county commission meeting, I will be appointing Anastasia Gonzalez to take my place, and this is her. Raise your hand. Thank you, Anastasia. She has already been through her training, knowing, because I told her, you're going to be appointed, okay? So she's already had her training for this calendar year, and I just wanted to welcome her aboard, and I just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Thanks, Dennis.
Welcome.
Whatever. Good to have you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Can I go to the site plan for TCAT now? Let's do the site plan for the TCAT facility. I know we have two gentlemen here to present that.
I'm Jackson Simpson with Batten Shaw Construction. We're not usually the one presenting these plans, but we've been asked to bring this before you guys. This is the TCAP facility on Woodbury Highway. It's a 12-month job. We plan on starting around November, and being complete, like I said, in 12 months. Pretty significant site work to get back in there, but that's just the first step in that large development, that industrial development that's back there. It'll have teaching in there for welding, industrial electric, cosmetology, trying to think what else, nursing. There's about 5 different trades, and eventually maybe truck driving as well. So this is part of the governor's initiative to put these in multiple counties around the state. So we're currently working with your water department and your power and all of that to kind of get coordinated with their needs and making sure we're meeting everything needed for them. So any questions or?
Where on Woodbury Highway is that?
53, right?
53, where at?
Right before you get to Remax.
Okay.
There's, I think Candace Lane or something. like that. It's almost at the middle school.
Before you get to Remax Realty, be on, going home, it'll be there on your right before you get to Remax.
Okay.
Sammy, you know that property about as well as anybody, don't you?
Well, I've been by the time or two.
Any questions? Would this be a preliminary, I guess, a preliminary site plan, would it not?
It is the site plan.
It is the site plan?
Civil on it and everything, doesn't it?
Which one are you talking about, ours?
Yes.
And yes, it's been to the state fire marshal. We've responded to his comments, and so it's finalized and pretty well ready to start construction
Okay.
to that point.
Any questions, guys, gals?
We did take it before the city of Manchester as well as the county to make sure, and I know their fire responds to that as well, so if they have any concerns or anything, they could let them know, and we'll continue to coordinate with their needs as far as connections and that sort of thing, so.
Is it gonna be far sprinkled?
It is,
Okay.
yes. Yeah, fully sprinkled.
If there are no questions.
Okay.
Any other questions? If no other questions, I would ask for a motion to approve.
I make a motion.
I've got
To
a motion
approve.
to approve by Randy Harrell. Do I have a second? Paul Elam seconds. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, gentlemen. Okay. Now, I'm sure all of you did your homework and read all through this book. Or at least the first 3 chapters. And the first 3 chapters, there's not a lot, not a lot of mistakes. It's pretty much a statement of purpose, a few definitions. The only thing that,
I read it.
the one thing that I did see was in the very first, the authority. It says the following, that which lies outside the municipal corporations. And this book does zone the UGB. You need to we all need to understand that, but we don't get to make that decision. That decision is made by the city of Manchester or the city of Tullahoma. But they have to apply this book to it. And they've been pretty good to keep up with, haven't they, Kurt? Okay. I would also like you to notice the purpose of this, and with the growth that we're experiencing, when this book was done, and I guess it was written in 98, 99, 2000, they really put an emphasis on providing open space, protecting agriculture, and protecting our natural resources. And now we're all of a sudden have building going on, which we all know was coming. But we need to keep those purposes in mind when we make decisions, I think. Everything else is pretty well standard. Did anybody else got anything that they found that,
Not in the first part.
you got something, Dennis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, if you could go to, section 20090. Buffer strips where a use is developed in areas zoned C1, C2, M1, or M2, which abuts at any point upon property zoned A1 and R1. The developer of said use shall provide a buffer strip as designed in Article VII, that's Roman numeral 7, Section 7.020. Now everybody turn to Section 7020. In Article VII, 7020 says, private streets serving as sole access. Has absolutely nothing to do with buffer. Nothing.
Yeah, it's in definitions. You go to definitions, buffer strip, and it,
I'm going where the book tells me to go.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to Section 7.020, and it has nothing to do with buffer strip, so that needs to be corrected.
Yeah.
it's
Well,
in definitions.
Article 7, it has to do with private streets. We don't need to change Article 7. We
No,
need to
no,
change
no,
this
I'd
right
say
here.
buffer strips need to, there should be a definition there, or tell you to look
See
in definition.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what needs to happen. I got another one, if you're in, I had a lot of these marked, but it's been a long time since we decided we was going to look at these. And, okay, I know what it is. In M2,
We're not, didn't get to that one this time. We only did the first one.
oh, is that what,
Yeah.
okay, you're just
Because
looking at,
I knew the 4 was gonna be a biggie, cause that's all.
Okay, I didn't know what you were talking about. I thought you were talking about all mistakes. I was looking,
No.
I know there's a conflict in there, so.
Yes, and the next time, we're just gonna do Article 4, because that includes all the zones.
Okay, good.
Zones, permitted
Yeah.
uses and all that.
I wasn't in on that one, so I
Which will be,
appreciate it.
which will be quite a bit longer.
Okay.
We could even add the description under this, take that out and just put the description above the strips under it right there.
That's,
Stick that
that'd
on
be
somewhere.
perfect.
Yeah,
We could do that.
however you think best to do it.
That'd be good. Take that where he was talking about where it said it was 7.02.
7.020.
We'll take that out and just put the definition of it here, which will be the description.
Mhm.
Okay. Requirements.
That'll work.
So you're talking about taking that one, just take it out and put the definition.
Yeah, it's over here.
So you're just doing
Just
section
in there, it's just that,
two,
put it right there.
Yeah,
oh,
we'll move it right
whatever,
there.
1,
So you don't have to go any further.
and three,
Right.
Be
okay.
right there ready.
3's not,
That's,
3
this was saying it's not in.
gets into
Just take this and put it.
what's
under
required
here.
for
Take that
special,
section out.
some of the special uses. Development requirements. Permitted open space. Open space was a really big deal when this thing was written. As a matter of fact, the guy from the state was encouraging us to have the developers put the houses on smaller lots and leave a big open space. However, we don't have the septic and the water for that, so.
Right.
Anybody got anything else on that?
That 3040 cluster residential subdivided, is that just any subdivision, is that?
No, it's got some
Where's
special,
that?
it's got some special.
I noticed where it
requirements.
says minimum distance between structure and street right of way says 30 feet.
Yeah, but
I
see,
think
that
it-
got put in here from something else, and that's smaller lot sizes and clusters, which wouldn't be done in the county anyway.
I mean,
Kinda like
that,
a PUD, it's like a PUD
Yeah.
kinda, and a PUD's not gonna be
And
the same,
most
they're
of
done
them
in
have
the
to
city
be
on sewer,
served by
city sewer,
city sewer or a
some kind of
Step
step system.
Step system, yeah.
Right. Yeah, some of
I
that
mean,
stuff's
somebody,
in that
somebody has
units.
come forward and said, well, we don't have anything that works outside. I said, yeah, we got step systems, but the county's not gonna pay for them, from that is my opinion anyway,
that's my opinion as well.
you know?
Let the developer want.
That's the
But
developer.
this 30 feet, so in other words, our bulk requirements wouldn't override that, take priority over that.
Yes, and most of those little developments like that are multiple housing units on one parcel, like a PUD. And they put their own, they're saying the roads that's in there's probably 30 feet. What section are you on?
It's early in 3040. I'm just saying, can somebody use that as a get around? Because right now we're at 50 feet, right?
We need to look at taking it out, stuff like that don't apply.
Yeah.
So yes, we could do that.
Well, yeah, we could take it out unless they,
I mean, do you see a scenario in which that would ever, you would ever have to be presented, hey, I'm 30 foot back, you know?
it's R, it can only be the R1 zone.
So let me ask you a question, when you were making you changed the feet and all that, you vote on that, or how does that work?
If we change one word in this book, it's called amending the resolution, which requires a positive recommendation from this body first, then it has to be approved at the full legislative body, the commission. That's how it works, just to change one word.
You know, once it's all completed, it'd be taken before the commissioners.
Okay. You may have the title.
I don't really see
They have to vote on it.
this
and-
happening.
I'm just,
Right. It's a
I
suggestion,
say 30-foot
recommendation
setback,
from us.
we don't allow
To them.
30-foot setbacks.
And then they have to vote on it,
These are
and
developed.
they actually decide.
It also,
Different things, which has that, which not's
initial,
not gonna
under
have.
initial sketch and consultation, it says location and size
Once we
of
get
water and sewer
everything
lines.
done
I
in the book,
anticipate
we will
that you
vote
have
on it
sewer
ourselves.
lines.
Yeah, see, that's like a
And then that's the
which is the city.
recommendation.
Right.
It's nothing they just got put in the book, and we
Yeah,
can
we
take that
recommend
out
this,
actually, cause it's
but
not gonna
y'all
apply.
gotta approve it.
Because
All we can
our
do is
minimum
recommend
lot
it.
size is 18 per acre with only one primary structure.
That's
So
right.
this goes
You
against.
wanna take it out?
We can, it's not gonna apply.
Everybody agreeing with taking that out? Taking the cluster residential development?
In its entirety, is that what you're saying?
I think so, Dennis. I can't see why we would keep it. I guess down the road somewhere.
You were talking about the step systems a minute ago, and about the county paying for them, which the contractor needs to pay for them, the developer. But the state regulations also require a certified licensed operator
Right.
to operate it. And they have to be connected to the county or the utility itself.
Robert Gillum, rest his soul, was the guy that took care of that for us. He did a great job at it. And, he was certified, and there is a guy in Manchester, and I don't know who, I can't remember who it is, that was certified for inspection. And he inspected them every year, so
Right.
contrary to what was said in the paper.
Ouch.
Well, he didn't say it, he just, John, you didn't say it, you just wrote it out. I'm not gonna throw John under the bus, that's not his fault, he was just repeating what was said. What do you think, Kurt? I can't see where that would ever come about.
Our smallest lot size is 1/8 of an acre,
Let's,
and only one.
does everybody understand what we're talking
Yeah.
about here?
I do, yeah.
Don't you think it's best we take it out?
I think so. Cause I mean, like you say, you're talking about a cluster,
Right,
you're talking about,
yeah, you're talking about a real cluster. Yeah.
right, and you had to talk, yeah, but you had to talk about the sewer and
Right.
all that, and,
Make the book shorter too, which the mayor would like, so it wouldn't be expensive, so.
Under that maximum density, it says maximum buildable acreage shall consist of 75% of the total residentially zoned acreage available, with 25% of said total to be allocated for street right-of-way regardless of the acreage actually required.
75% of 8/10, right? Is that what's that saying?
I think I would consider that talking about the entire parcel that this is being developed on.
That's right. You got to have so much open space and so much housing allows, yeah.
If it's 100 acres, 75 acres of it would be the most you'd be allowed to build on. With 25 acres set aside for streets is the way the math works, if that's what this even is.
Or it could be designated open space also.
You have to have so much open, you should call that out too, but
Right.
that would dictate your lot sizes.
All right,
Minimum lot size, under minimum lot size, none.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Saying,
Do I need to entertain a motion that we take this out? That we take this out?
This cluster
3.0.
residential development.
Yes.
Yeah, minimum lot size, we've already got, I mean, you saying none,
Yeah, we've got an 8/10
yeah,
of
we
an
got an
acre set in
8/10
stone.
of a requirement.
So that contradicts.
Yeah. Cause it's
Sammy,
saying, it's
give me a
saying
motion
none.
to remove 3-040.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
I second.
Uh,
Have a second from Laura. Motion from Sammy. We're gonna remove that. Kurt,
Okay.
you got it marked?
Yeah, I do.
I'm gonna mark it like that.
You know, if you go all the way to the end of it, it says deeds to individual lots within the cluster development, which shall convey mandatory membership in a homeowners association.
Right.
I mean, this is getting more into municipal type stuff.
It is.
Mhm.
It is. It's like a pub.
I don't know how all that got in there. And then that almost gets us into the scenario that I pointed out to the individuals in this meeting. We don't enforce deed
We
restrictions.
don't enforce
And
covenants.
right there, it's like we're enforcing HOA membership.
Yeah, it's come before us several times.
That's a civil matter,
That is absolutely a civil matter.
Who does enforce deed restrictions?
the court.
The courts. In other words, you gotta sue Randy, or Randy's gotta sue you, and you go to court, and it's decided there.
And the judge decides.
That's why, and there are really, really good homeowners associations in certain places, but most of the time they're a train wreck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, most of the
Yeah.
time they're a train wreck.
yeah.
We
That's
had-
just like we have a property dispute. We would go to court and a judge would decide on the property line and the property dispute of it. And that's the same thing talking about on the
Sammy, we
deed.
had an instance where a group came in, I'm sure y'all remember it, came in because there was this housing development that was supposed to be done in 3 phases. And one of the things was high-quality building material, and blah, 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 blah. And the first houses were brick and really nice. The guy that did that sold the second phase to someone else, and they put up nice homes, but some of them had metal on them, nice homes, but, and this guy says, it's high-quality building material. I said, well, you might go argue with Watson Metals or somebody like that, if they think it's high-quality building material, but you get into those things and there's nothing we could do. It had to go someplace else. Okay. Next time we will do section 4, and that's really one of the most important sections we've got. That deals with our permitted uses, our codes, lot sizes, the whole 9 yards. I'm gonna trouble you guys with one more thing. I hope most of you got, Anastasia, I didn't have your stuff or I would've sent it to you, about solar energy and solar farms.
No, there's a copy. She got a copy.
And, I've been reading some stuff about this. As a matter of fact, they popped up on my phone from different people I know across the country. And, we have no regulations or anything for them. I used to sell cattle in Brooks County, Georgia. Next to that dairy is a 1,700 acres solar farm. Every bit of 1,700 acres is covered with solar panels. The neighbors have gone ballistic. I don't know as I blame them. I don't know enough about it. But, Sam Edwards was nice enough to send us, a resolution, that some of you may have read. We need something like that. I hadn't had a chance to talk to Sam about that, about how well he thought that was written, but I don't think he'd have sent it, Cindy. He would think it was pretty well written to you. So we need to, I feel like that we need to address that. Don't have to do it today, but everybody needs to, when you get a spare time, Sammy, I know you don't have any right now. But we need to, kind of look around and, we'll be getting some more information, maybe some other, Randy was nice enough to bring a resolution that Jefferson County has. But we need to do something. We need to do something before it hits us in the face. The way I understand it, there are good sides and bad sides. There are complaints about noise. I didn't know they made a noise, but they do, they say. The other thing, and probably the most important thing, is what do you do when that field's dead? When it, what happens to that land? Because Laura and I were talking about it, and you can tell them what you said.
Just that I had heard that once you have those on there for so long, then you can't put anything else on that property. It does something to the soil or contaminates it.
If you can't live under power lines like some of us did as children, you can't, I would say that would have an effect too on the surroundings. We just don't know enough about it, but, if we can take a look at that before our next meeting, we'll put that on the agenda with number 4 and talk more about that. And I would like to see us get that resolution ready to put in this book when we,
To amend.
it.
That.
Anything else from anybody? I know you're tired of listening to me talk, so. Dennis, you got anything else?
No, thanks for everybody showing up.
Yep. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
You do it every time.
That's right. That's his job.
A second? Dennis has already seconded. He's cutting the machine off, so. Thank y'all.